All right, Wacky Mick Wackerson. How you doing, man?
Another one like the other one.
Yeah? You stressed out? You good? What's your frame of mind right now?
Nah, man, it's a lot going on. I just got a crazy call.
Yeah, it sounded like there was an indictment that you guys just learned about out there.
Yeah.
Of who? Do you have any idea yet?
I'd rather not say, but
Is this going to be big news? Is it going to be a rap news street politics video about this one?
yeah.
Really?
20.
20 dudes picked up.
Remember, Big U's was what, 19?
Yeah.
They say it's 20 dudes. I'm just scratching my head because
What neck of the woods?
Compton area. Scratching my head because it's like some of these dudes I was like, really like, been out. You know, when you see some dudes that just come home and been working and out the way.
You assume they're actually out the way.
Yeah, but I think what happens a lot of times, bro, is that you can come home and some people could be in the middle of something, and because you already affiliated, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't take much, you know what I'm saying, to get tied into something, man. It was like real disturbing. One of the dudes I was just helping out, he was going through a divorce.
Mhm.
Like literally, I just put him, he called me the other day looking for an attorney because, you know, his wife was kind of like trying to get over on him.
What they getting indicted for? Murders,
I don't know.
drug dealing?
I don't know. They
yet?
just
Okay.
called, said 20 people got picked up 2, 3 o'clock this morning. I didn't know it was true, called around, but some of the names of some of the people was kind of like, kind of shocking, man. But it's like,
Hitting a little close to home. You think you might be next?
no,
Okay. Anyone you travel with perhaps could be
no, I
involved?
know, I know probably like half of them I know,
Okay.
but it's probably only 2 of them may call me periodically.
Uh-huh.
You know, and when they call, we just be bullshitting around on the phone or whatever. But, you know, you got to understand, Adam, when it comes to the, and I was thinking about this the other day, when it comes to a lot of things like currently in the streets, like even drugs, like I thought about it. I don't even know what the new drugs look like.
Really?
Like if you put some fentanyl, if some fentanyl was right there on the table, I would have known it was fentanyl. And you don't.
You could Google that kind of thing.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, you just, you know, perks and all this shit. I don't
pill.
know. It wasn't, you know, in my time it was crack, powder, heroin, cocaine, PCP, marijuana. That's it. But it's like now that I sit back and I'm thinking about a lot of things, bro, it's like when you're disconnected from it or it's not part of your day to day, you're really not thinking about what people are doing. You're not even thinking about what they could be doing because it's different out here right now. You know,
I'll be honest with you. Like, if you had the ability to tell that someone was doing heroin or PCP or whatever, that same radar is probably going to effectively be able to alert you when somebody's off Percocets or fentanyl or whatever. You know, it's like, yes, these are different names and they are different chemically and everything like that. But really, ultimately, every drug is either going to make you slumped or it's going to make you up.
yeah. Like, what's this shit they drink? The lean or codeine or whatever?
I mean, yeah, but
For years.
I resent you acting like this is a new thing. It's
No,
like for
no.
30 years,
No,
this
no.
has been like a main topic in hip hop.
But you got to remember, I don't do drugs. My team don't do drugs.
Right,
but for years,
you've heard so many
No.
songs about it.
no, I know,
I'm sure you
I
kinda
know,
get the idea, right?
no, I know what it is or whatever. But like, I don't be knowing. Like, I used to hear people saying 2 lines, 3 lines, right? And
Lines an ounce.
no, but see, in my head, when I hear a line,
Mm.
it registers cocaine powder.
It's a liquid.
Yeah, but when I hear line, it registers powder.
I think you need to be more willing to like learn new
No.
things.
No,
And you don't have to do it, but you just have to like be like,
no.
oh,
Here goes the thing.
like part. I've realized this. Part of becoming a kind of like cool older dude is having to actually have some degree of curiosity.
No.
So like when all the kids, a big meme right now over the last couple of months, 6'7". It's actually because of a rapper that I've interviewed, Skrilla, who has a rap song in which he says 6'7". It sounds kind of funny. All the kids started saying it on TikTok. It became this big meme. I spent, like 5 minutes Googling it, reading a summary of what it was. And that, I mean, there's nothing to tell you. It's just, it sounds funny. So kids just say it, and it's like a weird trolly thing.
They just say 6'7".
Yeah, because he says 6'7" in the song, and it sounds funny. So like these kids are all saying it, and I realize like I probably just chose a bad example because it's very hard to explain why this is funny. But the thing that's gonna keep me from seeming like my dad seems to me, where he's just completely checked out, he doesn't know anything about anything that's going on, is you have to have that curiosity to say, oh, you know what? I was just listening to a podcast, and they were talking about some artist named Tate McRae. No idea. No, I don't even know what kind of music they make. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
You looked him up.
I will. I'm going to. Because I at least want to try to stay aware of what's going on in the culture.
That's different, but the drugs was never part of my program. Nobody in my circle, I was fortunate enough that my artists wasn't drug addicts like that. You know what I'm saying?
With Blueface, that kind of remains to be seen.
Nah, Blueface drunk a little liquor.
You're looking like Big Meech in there.
He might have.
You think you might be out the Seroquels?
What you mean? He gaining weight.
That doesn't do that.
What
He
you
can just
mean?
eat too, right?
He gaining weight. I didn't have to.
Blueface, free Blueface.
I didn't have to deal with that.
I'm gonna put this AC on. I'm getting kind of hot in here already.
Yeah. So, but it's like I don't know, man. It's and what's crazy about these Ricos, right? Is that every time the paperwork comes, it's always like a 3, 4, or 5 years been investigated.
Yeah.
It's never like nothing that just happened in 6 months.
Right.
You know what
you
I'm saying?
You got to clean up these streets.
Oh man, the streets got to clean themselves. But you know,
they have shown time and time again that they will not clean themselves up.
No, they're cleaning themselves right now.
How so?
You got a lot of people informing.
Right.
That these indictments take people off the streets 10, 20, 30 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That scares the streets. You know what I'm saying? This is the most federal presence we've seen in the streets of LA since I've been living.
Really? Because we've had what, like 2 indictments this year?
No, okay. You had the Rolling 60 Rico.
Yeah, the Hoover. Okay,
the Hoovers just got picked up. Now they saying they're in Compton. I believe the Broadways or somebody I saw on Rap News Street Politics, they may have had one. I know some years back, probably about 10 years ago, I remember some Blackstones got picked up, about 15, 20 people. But over the last couple years, I've never in my lifetime heard of like this type of federal presence in the ghettos, bro.
Yeah.
It was always like a drug kingpin or a big dope dealer or some dudes robbing banks or jewelry stores, but
because there's so many of these gangs that are not really focused on making money off selling drugs or doing robberies or smash and grabs or whatever it is. They just want to kill the guys on the other side of town. And so I don't know if maybe the feds didn't necessarily consider that as important.
Even that, murders was predominantly handled on the state side.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And there's a lot going on, man. Like, and then a lot of these dudes is going, it's a lot of allegations. Like right now I'm in a dog fight with the exposers for the first time.
About what?
Pooh Shiesty.
Oh, okay.
Because, about a year ago, I got his attorney to come on my YouTube channel.
Okay. And yeah, I saw some titles about this, but I don't know. So why do you think that he might be rad?
No, I actually defended him.
Oh.
When it hit the fan. I defended him. I brought his attorney on there and we was clearing it up. But his attorney was supposed to send us some documentation of something I was kind of skeptical. He never sent it. But I kind of like didn't think nothing about it. But now that he's come home, my whole team, they own me. Like they're on me. They sending me all these documents and all this stuff. So I went in there today on Clubhouse and I heard them out and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but it's kind of like, if I'm coming to you, right, to buy some drugs or whatever I'm coming to do, right?
Okay.
And then I'll rob you or I'll shoot you or whatever, right? And then they take me into custody. And I tell them that I went to Adam because he was gonna sell me some lean.
Hmm.
But then you end up getting indicted after that. So I kind of think whatever paperwork they got in the proffer, all three of the guys kind of said that they went to the victims to buy certain things, to buy drugs and get this and get that. And they found it in the proffer.
We're talking about the shooting in the green Lambo when they went to go buy weed and then they ended up robbing the guys?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
So you think, or you're fighting against, but your team thinks that Pooh Shiesty and them told on each other?
Well, they think they told on the victims.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
By saying what? That we were going to buy drugs off these guys?
Yeah.
So that's enough for you, even though...
Well, listen, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Pooh Shiesty fan. I know his daddy and shit.
I'm a huge Pooh Shiesty.
You know what I'm saying?
fan.
But, you know, they putting things in front of me, and it's kind of like, you know, and I'm reading it, and if you was to bring me this stuff and say, Wack, these are the victims, these are the dudes, this, what do you see? I would say what I'm seeing.
Okay.
In this situation, and it's not no excuse for it, I think we got a lot of youngsters that get in trouble and just don't know how to handle it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind, they're probably thinking, well, they already know.
Uh-huh.
But even if they already know, you still can't collaborate. You know, you can't collaborate it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even if the police got you for something and some other dude said, I can't say, yeah, I was going to buy drugs from Adam.
Okay.
Not being from the streets.
Because that's like one of the things that Thug got a lot of heat for saying to the people who were interrogating him was basically like, yo, I know that Pee Wee Roscoe would provide drugs to Lil Wayne. And, you know, one way to look at that is like, oh, well, providing drugs is illegal, so you just told on him. The other way to look at it is like, providing drugs is the least of these guys' worries. It's just like a pretty minimal thing.
But it's when you're dealing with the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, it's kind of like a...
We forget weed is illegal.
Weed
federally.
No, well, depending on where you at.
Right, but federally, it's always illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal across the... Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, they gonna plan. They on my ass about this shit. Bro.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. Like for anybody out there who's watching this and feels like, oh, Wack is kind of
no. Listen,
I was talking about the indictment because you seem very distracted, and I'm blaming it on the fact that you just found out that a bunch of people you know got locked up.
Nah, look, you see what I'm saying?
This is a person messaging you saying Pooh Shiesty and his two co-defendants really told on the two victims. Ain't no way around this part. This is all three co-defendants' proffers and pleas. They all told on victim 1 and 2. So I haven't seen any of this. Pooh Shiesty, that's the first time I read that.
No, listen, 11 months ago, I brought his attorney on there. Now, Loose Cannon was like, he was totally against Pooh Shiesty. And he started disrespecting the attorney, and I had to put an end to it because where it was.
Why was Loose Cannon disrespecting him? Did he think he was a tattle?
Yeah, okay. But he started doing things to where if I couldn't keep the attorney online, it wouldn't have been able to clear Pooh up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he'd have felt like, you know, Loose Cars called him Sweetie and all kind of crazy shit.
Sweetie!
This is a real attorney, right?
Take me back.
So, I thought we kind of cleared Pooh up because the thing was, one of the dudes didn't take his time till 2 weeks after all of them, but whatever Pooh and them went and did when they proffered, right, forced dude into taking like 8 years or 12 years, whatever it was, right? But the attorney stipulated that they all was in agreement to what they were doing and who was going to get what time, right? And he was supposed to send some documents. He never sent them. I just kind of let it go. So, you know, I guess I thought he was home a week or 2 ago, but I guess he's in the halfway house. And you know how it goes, bro. And it's kind of like we're living in a different time because I remember they used to celebrate people coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Now they trying to crucify you.
Why are you saying they? Like it's not you.
Well,
your buddies.
no, period. People.
They try to do this to you as if we're not doing that right now. And again, I'm not in any way convinced.
Hold on. No, we're not because I haven't even run over the documents to even, they came on the clubhouse floor, they stated their facts, and I kind of heard them, but I didn't really get off into it. If I'd have got off into it, you would know about it. It'd be on the blogs.
So are you basically admitting that you're selective politicking on this and you don't want to know anything that would make Pooh look bad?
Okay. As it looks, and as crazy as it seems, if you tell the feds that you went somewhere to buy drugs from an individual and you identify that individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
The streets, this ain't wax rules. This is the rules before me. They will say that you're telling. I just want to see the overall statements from, not that it may not mean anything, the victims, because there have to be some statements from the victim. I think somebody might have got shot or something. I don't know. Something happened to two of the victims. I want to see if they told, what I'm saying is, did they come to Pooh and his people and say, the victims already gave a statement saying that you guys were there because they were going to sell you these things.
Okay.
Right? Now, this just me. If I see that the victims already told the feds while they're in the hospital that, yeah, we came to meet up with Pooh Shiesty and his team to sell them whatever drugs or whatever the hell they're going to sell them.
Pretty sure it's weed.
Whatever it is, right? I don't know what it is, right? If the victims told the police that, and the police put those statements from the victim in front of Pooh Shiesty and said, we know you were there to buy whatever, I'm going to look at it different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I told them, until y'all go find the statements from the victims, 1 and 2, what they said to the law enforcement, I'm kind of like up in the air with it.
Okay.
I'm not selective politicking. I'm up in the air with it. Now, if Pooh Shiesty would have been like a whack op, are you asking me, would I be running it up and telling the people to figure it out? Most definitely.
I mean, my thing is that as far as how commonplace weed is, I mean, people drive around smoking blunts. They got blunts sitting in the ashtray of their car in most states in America. So it's pretty easy for me to understand how a guy like Pooh Shiesty, if what you're saying is true, it would just probably not even cross his mind to just say, well, from what I recall, yeah, that was what it was. I mean, that's what I know. I never heard anything. Because what else would it be? Maybe lean or perks or whatever, but I feel like I would remember that.
It says right here. Yep. Meeting to acquire marijuana. No. Marijuana, codeine, and sneakers.
Oh.
Pretty cool combo.
Yeah.
We're going to get some weed, some lean, and some shoes.
Pour the lean in the shoe. Drink it up.
So, because I don't know if by the time they got to Pooh and them, they like, look, we already got the statements, and, Pooh's attorneys are saying, hey, the victims have already told them y'all was coming over there to buy weed, codeine, and some shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the statement's already made or given by the victims, and in the proffer, they put in Pooh Shiesty in the proffer for their deal, that you're admitting that you were going to buy codeine and weed, something that's already been documented by the victim. Me personally, I'm gonna look at it different.
Okay. Well, Pooh Shiesty, I'm in your corner. I believe in you. I think we're gonna get past this.
No, I look, bro, I've been fighting for him.
Also, I just feel like even if that were to come out, like nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna stop with him over that. That's crazy.
Nobody's gonna. Well, I mean, it was a little number done on Thug, but that was because it was different factors in there.
Yeah.
He kind of hung, his own voice hung itself. No, people don't. Back in the day, you exposed people that was telling because shit happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
These days, it's just conversation.
No, it used to be he shot me. That was telling. Or me and him went and we shot at these other guys, and that's telling.
No, that's always been telling.
Now it's like, I went to the situation with a Draco and a pound of weed, and then they were supposed to sell me the weed, and that's enough. Which I get it. Telling the cops about any kind of criminality.
It's telling. So, at the end of the day, these days, it's just really content, man. You see, it's funny to me because I've been watching the New York guys over there.
Think about dropping your flag?
050 China.
Oh, yeah.
right? And
he was mad I wouldn't give him $5,000 for an interview.
Yeah, he's crazy. 050 China, and you'd have given him that $5,000, you wouldn't have heard the end of that.
Yeah.
I made him pay me $5,000. Right? That's how
it seemed like it kind of hurt him in the soul that I basically had to tell him, like, you're not worth that. And then 1090 got him.
I don't think nobody ever give it $5,000 for it.
But, he wants to come out here and, like, have some money to spend or whatever. I get it. But, like, 1090 interviewed him, and I saw the numbers. For sure, I should not have given you $5,000. For sure, $5,000. People think $5,000 is a normal amount to ask for a podcast.
No.
$5,000 is upper echelon. It's not superstar status,
but it's
up there.
You're gonna do some numbers.
It's like, yeah, for me to make $5,000 off your interview, and then for there to be enough on top of that for me to even feel like, oh, I made $1,500. I made $2,000, so it was worth it for me to pay him $5,000. Which, granted, even that is not great, but it's like $5,000 is.
You're going to do some numbers.
Right.
You got to be one of the guys that's going to be in Blast top 10 most streamed shows.
If I told you guys who gets paid $5,000 from WAC, you'd be surprised because it's upper echelon.
I mean, we know who get paid what. We know what we get paid. And a lot of times we don't, they're our friends and shit, so it ain't like that. But I've been watching them. They've been running the campaign on Jim Jones. What's funny is, everything
you've been calling him a rat for years.
No, everything I said that they were like ignoring, all the New York Bloods. I think some OG dude. They say he's a first generation New York Blood, like Fondue or Mandu something. He's calling Jim Zone out to a fade and all this shit.
Why? Why does that guy want to fade him?
Well, all of a sudden, Jim Jones was paying for his colors. You was paying for your rag, and I'm kind of up in the air with this, right? And they're saying now Jim Jones not a Blood. You can't say that.
He's been a Blood for 30 years.
I'm going to be real. Y'all can't say now, 2025, Jim Jones is not a Blood. Now, if I'm Jim Jones, I don't pay those dudes no attention social media-wise. I make sure my team is right. I make sure my security is right. And I keep moving, doing what I'm going to do. Because a lot of these dudes Jim probably ain't never saw in his life. Okay. But the crazy part about it, you hear them saying, we heard you on the wiretap. It was played in a federal trial. That's conspiracy. We all know that. And I'm sitting here laughing like.
If that was true, it was true 4 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah, all back then, that was, but I think what it is with them is like, if you're from California and you, believe it or not, although you're from New Hampshire, your voice is California.
Well, my understanding of gang shit is a California understanding. Yeah. Granted, I know about Chicago and New York and shit, but really, like, my baseline of what's normal gang-wise is based on everything I've seen in LA.
Yeah, so now they're attacking them with that stuff. But I'm going to be real. I really believe Mel Murder just came home, right? And I could be wrong, but I know how these things work. All this time, nobody said any of this. A lot of it because of respect of Mel Murder and his relationship with Jim while he's gone. So now that he's home, they're attacking him with it, right? That math doesn't add up. That tells me maybe Mel Murder wasn't too happy about his coming home rewards, and now Mel is saying apply a little pressure, right? So maybe he doubles back, and that gives me reason to request or demand a little more.
But we just saw Jim Jones and Mel like embracing at the train station when he got home from prison, right?
You have never heard these New York Bloods attack Jim in this manner.
Really?
While Mel was
I haven't seen any of this.
Look, while Mel was gone.
Send me links to that because I would like to check that out.
Like, what? It's crazy.
Really?
Like, while Mel was gone. Now,
text me that.
He's home. He's home, bro.
Right.
And while he was gone, they didn't play with him like this. Now he's home, and this shit is crazy. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. So, I don't know, but I'm gonna be real. Nobody at this point can say, Jim, you ain't a Blood. That shit don't work.
Yeah.
That you can't.
I love that. Like as soon as like 4Extra at X4 started beefing, it was like, you ain't really from here. Or like, you got to come here and get put off. It's like, as soon as there's any kind of like internal conflict, it's like, oh, you're actually not from here in the first place. Yeah, you got it tattooed all over your face. We were cool a week ago, but sorry, It was fake all along.
I
Yeah.
just sent it to you. It's great. He's talking crazy.
I'll check that out. But okay, so I did want to get your thoughts on that. Jim Jones approaching academics in an aggressive manner at the YB show. How you feel about that?
I think I was talking to Act, and I said, "Well, Act, what was he really upset about?"
It didn't seem like it was clear to Act at all.
Yeah, what was he really upset about?
Act's having to like guess at what might have offended him.
And the fact that Jim was just talking in circles, you know, you know how they do, the New York dudes. They good at saying a bunch of shit that really don't add up to nothing.
That's gangbangers in general. I'm sorry,
You
but
know
there's
what I'm
a lot of times I've sat across from a gang member on here who's giving me a whole lot of razzle dazzle and a lot of dead homies and a lot of all this shit, and I'm like,
you know what?
You really have not made much of a point here. No offense to Jim, but actually Jim is a smart guy, but I could imagine him being mad at academics and not really knowing how to verbalize why he's mad at academics.
I don't know what Act did. I was still trying to figure it out. But I don't think he did nothing too serious because he didn't do nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? I do know that Jim wanted an interview after the Ye interview.
And Act ended up not getting on the phone with him, so it ended up not happening.
Which was a political move. It made sense at the time.
Oh, yeah, that was intentional, that Act kind of dubbed him?
I think Act just didn't follow up and Jim didn't follow up.
Well, Act was probably trying to keep his Kanye card good.
I mean, that's what I told him. That's what I suggested to him.
If you're going to be a Kanye BFF, let's be real, you're probably going to fall out with him within a couple months anyway, so you might as well not do interviews with his ops. Or I don't know that Kanye would have ever really cared about him having a conversation with Jim. But either way, I mean, it's the number one situation where Jim Jones is not going to get off on him, right? He's got security. There's hella venue security. Act's in good with YB's team. Birdman standing right there.
He wasn't going to disrespect Birdman.
As much as Jim Jones might be a hothead and might be kind of liable to fly off the handle, I don't really see him being, that burnt out.
That wasn't going to happen. I see your partner's, I don't know what he is.
I'm already trying to figure out who my partner is.
The cough syrup dude.
Dub.
They say it's his brother. And then I get a call from Compton Rick Rock. He's saying, whack. They say the dude's a stud.
That is a common misconception, but that's not true. He is a man.
Well, listen.
But
so
I understand.
Because I felt sorry for the dudes from Backstreet Watts. I'm like, damn, they don't even get no points because it was a stud. But so is he like androgynous? He looks like a female?
He's a man, for the record. Now,
and I heard him talking. I'm like, it might be a stud.
He kind of looks like Boosie if you like zapped him with a space ray, and like he just kind of ended up just like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I mean that's Dub's brother. I've been around him for like fucking damn near 10 years now. I personally,
bro.
I kind of get it because he is somebody who over the years has been cool to me, and then he'll randomly.
He's a rapper, right?
Yeah, he tries to rap, or he did for a period of time. But he'll talk shit about me, and then I'll see him, and it'll be cool.
Even though you know how cool you and Dub is?
Yeah, but he goes off on Dub. Like I seen Dub just wish him a happy birthday, but then he'll also be dissing Dub. Did you notice that? So there's a clip of him that allegedly is him. That what got him the beat down was the fact that he was dissing a lot of hoods. He had a shirt with a crossed out swan and a crossed out Boston Red Sox logo, and
he had the B crossed out.
Yeah, a bunch of other shit.
But that ain't the people that got him.
Oh right, okay.
Some Crips got him.
Yeah.
Some I believe Backstreet Watts.
Right.
He's claiming Front Street Watts.
And personally, not really super familiar with these hoods, but yeah, I mean, like, if you're out there wearing shirts with other hoods crossed out, and you're on Instagram and you're talking shit about hoods, and these videos are going viral. I know it wasn't the hoods that were whacked out on the shirt, but if you're doing all that and then you get the shit beat out of you, I am not going to feel bad for you. You were asking for it. You were playing the game. He's
lucky the hoods he had on his shirt didn't catch him. He got love. What they did to him, they showed him some love.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because this could easily be a lot sadder. This could be a funeral to go to.
They knocked him out like 2-3 times.
Yeah, it was not good.
They kept telling him go to sleep.
Did you see his leg?
Yeah, I seen that. look, I screenshotted it because I didn't know is it a prosthetic leg? Something happened to him?
All I know is that I've seen homeless people with legs like that on the train in New York back in the day, where like something's going on. It's getting big. It's getting hard. It's like I don't know. I don't know if it's a drug thing. Lush said that he does a lot of drugs, a lot of Xans and stuff.
So that's Desto's brother, for real. Not like my brother, but
I don't know if he's his
DNA.
half brother or not, but
They got
at the very least they're brothers. Yeah,
oh shit.
for better or for worse. Yeah.
What is he? What was he walking down the street?
I don't know. I mean, he's always hanging out on the block, like making Instagram videos of him talking shit into the camera and everything.
Is he a little?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's out there. I don't know exactly what the diagnosis is, but he's definitely not
He's not
your average Joe. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it sucks seeing it happen because Dub is somebody who, more than almost any other entrepreneur I've seen in LA street culture history, has done a very good job of staying out of the bullshit. He fucks with all these artists who are from all these different hoods. He shows love to them, but they don't tell him that he can't fuck with these people, etc. Obviously, there are people that he probably doesn't fuck with, but it's not. He's done a very good job at keeping his brand so that it's not viewed as a brand that is associated with any one neighborhood in particular. And then he's got his brother out here doing all this dumb, burnt out shit. And again, Pimpin' P, I feel like you're my little brother. You're my slow little brother too, because you're Dub's little brother, so you're my little brother. I think of it like these guys who go rock climbing without the net or without the rope.
He actually raps.
When you die, you ask for it.
He raps.
I mean, a lot of people have put out a few rap videos over the years. Yeah,
got you. Yeah, they listen. I believe that they cut him some slack. They it was one dude. I don't know why they saying he got jumped.
Yeah,
it was one dude. I believe it's a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, really, what you saw in that video is not anything even notable from a gangbanging perspective. That's just how shit goes.
My neighborhood, they beef with Front Street.
Okay. I don't even know about LA's Front Street.
Yeah, that's Watts.
I know Fredo Santana's
but
Front. I think Chief Keef is from Front Street.
They got a Valley Front Street. We got a few of them like Family Baby Charles.
Okay.
They like, he in there. His crime is my homeboys. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was kind of different when I seen that. That's the first time I've really seen the presence of them on the internet.
Okay.
Because it's a smaller neighborhood than Watts. You usually hear about bounty hunters and PJs and Grape Streets or something like that, right? But yeah, it was unfortunate. I was kind of hoping they didn't dog him too bad because I got the feeling that he was like special needs. You know what I'm saying? But look, he came out a lot better. I seen somebody else just last night. Another rapper.
Who?
T4 or something like that.
It was T4.
Yeah, they caught him in the front seat of the car.
Oh, it was a unaliving.
Yeah, the other night. So
I think I might have seen that. I don't know who he is though.
One of BG Perico homeboys.
Really?
Oh, yeah, another youngster. I heard his name a few times, and you know what I'm saying. But it's a lot going on, bro. It's a lot going on out there.
No disrespect, I just didn't know what it was, but that's terrible. You feel like what? Is there a reason why you think shit's heating up? I think it was like the least killing over the summer in a long time.
I seen a thing other day. Los Angeles has the most murders in all the big cities in California now.
Really?
From the Bay to San Diego. Listen, places like Frisco.
Take that, Swamp Stories. He's always clowning our murder rate.
Places like Frisco had like 4 and Oakland 6. Dago had maybe like 15 or 10. We had like 200 something.
Oh, but I mean, our population is like way higher than all those other cities. So you always got to scale it to the population, right?
I think they was talking about, street killings, gang killings. There's all kind of murders going on, but
I know it's just like we have like 7 million people or some shit. Yeah. So it's probably like drastically more than all those.
It's things is changing. The climate is different. I'm kind of feeling like it's this eerie feeling going on outside where it's about to be a drastic change of everything. Music, streets, business, a change of the tides. Gonna be some youngsters come up, be some old school dudes, take a fall. It's about to be a cleansing.
It feels like something's going on just because it feels like the economy is kind of many YouTubers I know, their views are down significantly.
Yeah.
We have not been invincible towards this trend. This has been a little bit of a reality for us, at least on some stuff. And in addition to that, it's like a lot of OnlyFans girls that I've spoken to, those numbers going down a little bit, which OnlyFans numbers tend to kind of like match the economy as a whole, because when people are feeling the squeeze, they tend to get rid of their OnlyFans subscriptions pretty quickly, which is probably not that surprising. But it just kind of feels like it's a weird time where everybody's kind of tightening their wallets up and not trying to spend unnecessarily. I know for me, being coming up on my 42nd birthday and everything, it's sort of like, well, yeah, I feel like it seems like a time to be conservative,
Definitely,
in general. And I don't know what is coming, but it feels like things are changing a little.
That's that eerie feeling. See, we haven't had this conversation.
No.
But I'm just kind of like, and I'm really kind of sitting back in the house. I'm going over my portfolio, moving some things and making certain moves and creating some deals and closing some deals. But it's kind of like certain people that I'm talking to, things have changed. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, once upon a time where your group might have been 10 people that's successful, that y'all could all plug into each other, is down to like 3. You get what I'm saying? Even in the building, Pooh, Shiesty coming on. It doesn't feel like one of our dudes that has some great music is home. He's home. No big deal. It's no buzz. There's no talk around it. It's like usually it's a pre-setup on his own for him to ride away. But it's like
it feels like everybody's jaded to everything to such an extent that, like, a lot of good content has been coming out that doesn't do the numbers that you would kind of expect. Young Thug drops an album that does 50K. That's kind of strange to me. That doesn't seem right. I'll give you another example. Traplo Ross. He has his main channel that he built up into this like machine, because he has all these different writers and stuff that he pays monthly. I don't know how many of them get paid like per project, or some of them probably are a retainer to. So like if a big thing happens in hip hop, if tomorrow blank rapper gets his head blown off, he's got the team in place to immediately put together an hour-plus long documentary about this person who had this crazy thing happen, right? And that was killing it for him for a long time. But the rapper David, or I guess he's like a singer.
Yeah. The dude with the
one who
the girl in his Tesla.
That he did a video about that when I checked last, it had like 150,000 views. But meanwhile, he's been doing incremental updates on another channel where every single thing that breaks in this case, she might have been pregnant when she got killed. Boom, he does a video about that. They're saying why is he not charged yet? Boom, he does a video about that. He's probably done at least like 10, probably 20 videos about this David situation, and he's doing way more views off just doing these little like stream style clips where he breaks it down step by step, and then he puts together this really high-end, polished, high-quality documentary about the case, and it's kind of doing like the same amount of views as some of the videos that he's done just breaking down the whole thing step by step. So you have one that realistically probably costs like, I'm going to guess at least like $4,000 to put together. And then the other ones are basically free. It's just him spending his time sitting at his computer looking at Reddit. And that's a wild thing for me to see as a YouTuber, and just realizing like, people's tastes are changing a lot. It's kind of like in porn, we've kind of realized like when we try to shoot really high quality porn versus when you shoot kind of like whatever with an iPhone, a lot of people like the iPhone better. It's more approachable. It's more realistic. The polished stuff feels fake. They feel like they'll never be in a sexual situation like this with the girl standing on her head.
Your time has definitely changed. And listen, I'm telling myself, all the things that people used to do, I just think you got to reverse it. If the Rolls Royce is what you were supposed to be doing, maybe you need to go back to the Benz. If you was Benzing, maybe you need to go to Cadillac. Like everything needs to be reversed. It's like if you got it, do the opposite. Everywhere I go, Miami is dead. Me and R&B were out. We coming from seeing that movie, great movie. Go see One Problem or One Battle After Another. That's one hell of a movie.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, you got to go see it. It's crazy. Like it's the cast is crazy. Tiana Taylor's in it. Leonardo DiCaprio. But I'm driving around. I said, let me hit Hollywood. You come through Hollywood Friday and Saturday night when you get off Highland, that Hollywood area, and it's usually like a nice little crowd.
Yeah.
Empty. You get what I'm saying? I looked up Rite Aid's closing down. Now we watched
not all of them, right? But some
all of them. They said all the Rite Aid's closing.
No way.
That's what it said.
I gotta see this.
Right?
I grew up next to a Rite Aid,
and we
so I got a soft spot for Rite Aid.
We seen Circuit City do it. And Rite Aid's closing now.
Wow, Rite Aid shuts down all remaining stores after bankruptcy. What's the fuck?
So it's kind of like
even the Wikipedia article, Rite Aid Corporation was an American drugstore chain.
Bro.
It had 5,000 locations at one point.
This is what I'm telling you. Like,
damn.
It's something going on.
Yeah.
It's something definitely going on.
But
all the gigolos, pick you a chick, lock down with her. I'm very fortunate with that. That I got that shit out of my system. You know what I'm saying? Pick you a chick and lock down with her. But it's kind of like everything, bro. I don't care, bro. You flying to New York and it's in everywhere. I'm talking to them. I'm like, bro, what's the vibe down there? Like it's dead. You know what I'm saying?
I was just reading an article about Vegas. I guess like Vegas tourism is down 10+%. And even more than that, because the people who are there are spending a lot less money. I was reading a souvenir shop owner, a woman who said that I think the numbers were that in the course of a weekend, they could make $20K, which by the way, made me feel like I need to open up a souvenir shop. But now it's more like $3K.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I mean, that is a huge drop. That's like a 80% drop.
Bro, listen, things are about to change. It's changed. You got Trump. Trump got ICE working. I believe they up in Chicago. I don't know if anything drastic is happening.
Thank God all our tax dollars are going to that.
I mean, there it goes, man. I mean, people complain about crime.
Yeah.
So,
watch your expenses, tighten up your belt, and hold on, because we don't know what's coming. All I know is that there's probably never been a time for me as a YouTuber where things felt quite so pessimistic. But at the same time, two things. I know that when society feels like it's grinding to a halt and things feel boring and things feel slow, and when it feels like we need a cultural reset, that's probably when we're going to actually get one. Like something is coming along, and I don't know what it's going to be, but there is something exciting that is going to come out of the funk that our country is currently in. And then in addition to that, I just feel like myself, when I'm backed up against a wall, when it kind of feels like things are just not going so good, that it usually ignites something inside of me that yield some creativity or some new ideas.
Yeah, you gotta do something. I mean, listen, I'm looking at our greats. Beyonce, she'll do 400,000 the first week. Kendrick, 319, 320. Drake, 250. Cardi, 200.
Taylor Swift, 4 million.
3 million.
Well,
Taylor Swift, that's what I was getting to. 3 million. So it's kind of like.
But if it wasn't for the vinyl and the CD sales, she would have done more like 500K, I'm pretty sure. Because she is selling so much vinyl that it's like creating way higher first week sales. Because like someone like Drake's not putting CDs out. He doesn't have vinyl out. If he did.
Drake?
Somebody like Drake.
Why wouldn't he be doing that? Why is it?
I think he's working on the project until like the moment that it drops. So I'm pretty sure that they don't have time. Making vinyl takes a long time.
Oh, he's killing himself.
I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Yeah, but like all the modern artists usually are not dropping CDs.
They pulled the plug on the UMG lawsuit like I thought they would.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, like, bro, you can't, for them to do that, that means things you did prior to the Meek Mill and the rest of the artists that you annihilated in rap battle. You know what I'm saying? They got to like, bro, you've done it before this.
Drake's got to like appeal this and find a way to continue on with it, right? Like, there's no way that he should just be accepting this and just vanishing from this whole case. I mean, think about how many millions of dollars he's invested into this already. Are we getting the whole truth? Is this actually the end of the road?
Bro, that way pulled the plug. I don't know if he's going to appeal.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how this all plays out, but all I know is that once again, we see how it's very, very hard for a black man to get a fair shake in America.
No. I mean, bro, his whole claim didn't make sense. I told you that day one. I'm like, bro, it's a rap battle. Kendrick was very, very crafty at how he delivered that. He never really directly called him anything.
That is the most insane thing you maybe ever said.
Bro, where?
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Okay, certified lover boy is.
But I'm sorry, like
it's Drake, right?
I realize that this case has now been dismissed. That does not mean that we need to talk about this shit again. No. This feels so 6 months ago to even have this conversation.
What I'm saying is, you do know when he was saying pedophile, who he was referring to. He was referring to his man, and you know he had a situation.
Who's his man?
I forget whatever that dude's name is, some shit.
So now you're rewriting history. Kendrick was talking about somebody besides Drake.
I'm not rewriting it. It always on the album when you had the Megan's Law shit, that wasn't directed at Drake.
It was Drake's house.
No, one of the dudes that's with him had a situation. I believe he came out of it.
But it wasn't an underage girl situation.
Huh?
Baca?
There you go.
He had a case, but I don't think it was an underage girl.
But then Drake had the thing that we talked about already.
Yes, I can't believe you're even trying to rewrite this. This is why
it came up. Like, what do you mean? That like Universal just pulled the plug? Like, what do you mean?
I know, but you're now trying to say that Kendrick was talking about Baca not nice.
No, we always threw that in there.
No,
we threw that in Denver.
Nobody has ever said this.
Always. Always, bro.
Okay. Baca was arrested in 2014 and charged with forcing a 22-year-old woman into prostitution, which does not in any way involve a underage girl. So obviously he was talking about Drake.
But
you're insulting my intelligence and everybody else who's watching this podcast. If you guys stop watching this podcast because of that bullshit that he just tried to pull, I won't blame you.
Listen, first of all, the fact that a guy like you is siding with Drake crying over this shit is crazy.
I'm not really siding with him.
You come on, bro. There's no way you can agree with that lawsuit, bro. The shit we talk, no way you could agree. That's like somebody coming back at you, right? You filing a lawsuit on them.
If me and another artist are both signed to a label and that label basically like massively promotes and really goes way beyond what is normally done to promote a record that smears me. You don't think that there's any possibility that could be a case?
Blame the label for what the people are grabbing and running with.
We're not blaming the label for what the people are bragging and running with. We're blaming the label for what the label actually did. And you're not going to trick me into talking about this anymore. Who the cares? This is so old. This is at least 6 months old.
White boy.
Nobody wants to hear us talk about this.
Listen, every time you're in a losing situation and you don't understand music.
No, that's not true.
Can we agree?
You don't understand. I'm usually very eager to have an argument with you. I'm just telling you that this is such a boring argument. They are so.
It just went up today.
You know what we should talk about? Yes, and we should talk about the news that came out today. But talking about the basic facts of the lawsuit, like who gives a fuck? This is so old.
What was the lawsuit about?
You know what we should talk about?
Who's the lawsuit about?
You know what we should talk about?
Who's the lawsuit about?
You know what we should talk about?
Who's the lawsuit about?
Let's talk about if Gunna snitched on YSL. That's what they would love to hear about. They're not sick of that or anything.
We already talked about that like a couple weeks ago with Thug.
No, we talked about it for well over a year, and it's boring.
No, it came back up with Thug.
Let me tell you something. You need to at least be aware of the fact that we are here to entertain an audience.
First of all,
and if we talk about a topic from a year ago and have the same exact conversation that we had back then, they're not going to keep watching the podcast.
How was that?
And I will not blame you because him trying to make us talk about this is insane.
I'm not trying to make you talk about it. It just came out today.
I'm just telling you, I'm not trying to talk about it because it's boring.
We got to talk about Lil Durk.
Boom. There's something that's actually interesting.
Lil Durk been in a fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same goddamn.
And he's poofing an Apple Watch.
I
don't know where he was keeping it.
Why would you say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's just a guess.
So you just want to automatically put it up his ass.
Well, where else are you gonna put it?
You're weird. How
Okay.
about he just got an Apple Watch? How about he's wearing it? Yeah, you want to know what
No.
time it is?
There's a big difference between a wrist and an asshole. You can't see my watch when it's in my asshole.
Why did you even think about that? Like, listen, out of all the little Dirk Apple Watch conversation, nobody has ever brought up to where was he keeping it.
This is the kind of thing I think about.
You're weird.
Well, I'm just saying.
Right, so and then it went to he's keystering it.
Well, from what I've been told, all kinds of stuff is getting keistered in there. Bro, can I ask you a favor?
Yo, man.
I will give you your money back if you don't like it. Watch my Fleece Johnson interview.
Oh, no, I would do.
Watch the clips.
No, I would do. I have been watching some clips.
Bro, there are things
like
he says in that interview.
No, I watched one where he says the dude's not here anymore. I don't know why the fuck he's talking about that.
Talking about killing the guys who molested him, basically.
Yeah. I watched a bunch of dudes' content from when he first come home and crazy shit. Like, listen, he's what we call a booty bandit.
The ultimate booty bandit.
Yeah, no, bro, they have them booty bandits like that's what it is. That's what they're known for. That's what their popularity is. Their booty bandits. Well, they ain't hiding.
I mean, this is kind of his whole deal. Like people wouldn't really know about him if it wasn't for the booty bandit.
Yeah, dude said that's what he had before he had sex with a woman.
Yeah. Well, he got locked up before he even had a chance to do anything with a woman.
Yeah. So, but I've been seeing a bunch of clips with you in there. I got to watch the whole video. But no, I with the Fleece.
He tried to turn me into a sissy to start the pod off.
Now I don't know. I couldn't interview him.
Because you're scared?
No, because the ex-con in me, if he say some slick shit, as we call sex playing, I'm going to react.
That's why we did it over Zoom, so that I wouldn't have to get raped and he wouldn't have to get the shit beat out of him for raping me. Because presumably that's how it would have gone down.
So how would you go beat the shit out of him if he's raping you?
Well, as soon as he's done raping me, I'm going to get him a towel. And I'm going to fuck him up.
So you're not denying. Oh, shit. But the Lil Durk, first I was kind of like, I thought he had some light at the end of the tunnel.
Nah.
But now I think it's a couple people, those text messages wasn't good.
The phone call in which his friends are basically describing how he likes for the killings to be pulled off. And I mean,
I didn't see that one. I saw the text message where he's telling everybody, pipe up. I guess they went, but the cops was there. They couldn't do anything.
Right, because this is the craziest thing is that, so we've heard things about Dirk and his team kind of beefing with O-Block, but we never really heard like specifics or like real claims about it. And now it's coming to light that like, I guess at one point after Vaughn got killed, that Dirk sent his boys to O-Block to kill maybe whoever, but realistically, Munna Duke, who was killed recently, is kind of like the main suspect. The crazy thing about it to me is that it's like, so you're the person who's like, 10 million up and you're expecting a bunch of broke ass dudes who still live in the projects to go slide on a famous rapper, Quando Rondo, who doesn't even live in Chicago at all.
But they don't have that. That's not on text.
But that's what's being suggested here is that he wanted people from O-Block killed because they didn't slide for
by a witness, or they have text or voice, a wiretap.
I think that they have a snitch who's going to put that on.
Yeah. I see it's 2, 3 of them. I didn't like what Didi did. I didn't like it because his attorney, Didi's in that text thread, and he's saying Didi's the only one in the text thread that didn't respond. He's kind of saying something to the sort that Dirk was over this text thread, not Didi.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, just even mentioning, it's kind of like you putting the light, you doing what they're doing, right? So at the end of the day, in that Apple Watch, I'm praying nothing was on there where he was trying to make contact and communicate about anything. I'm hoping he just had it to call his chick.
And he tried to destroy it, which makes me think that there absolutely was incriminating stuff on it, because otherwise, why? I mean, what's the point of even having a fucking phone in prison if you're not going to be having conversations that are different from the conversations you'd be comfortable having over the regular jail phone?
But here's the problem. Guys in prison, people know who your people are. They've done all this research prior to them getting you. You know, unless you done got a little slick and went and got them a phone nobody knows about. So even when you're calling them, if their phone is hit on that side, it's a problem. But think about it. The Apple Watch had to come from a guard, right? Let's keep it real, right?
Probably. Yeah.
You know, a lot of times that this is all by design. The DA knows, okay, give him this. Let's see where it goes. You get what I'm saying? Go in there and get cool with him, slide him some candy, do a few favors for him, make him think, accept the money, tell him you need this, pick it up from somebody, wherever, turn it in, do your job, right? And give them this. And they already be knowing what you have. They gave you the phone.
Why not sell him a Apple Watch or a phone that's already like pre-wiretapped?
Brother,
I mean,
they do that too.
Yeah, because that was some of the YSL guys, I think, had that going on. But yeah, I mean, the whole Dirk thing, I mean, I feel like Chicago should start recalibrating everything right now, assuming that he's never coming home. Because realistically, it looks so bad.
Yeah,
I hate to just count him out.
I fuck with Dirk.
It feels like at this point, a betting man. I don't know if this is on Polymarket or not. Will Dirk beat his case? You know about Polymarket?
I don't, bro. He got the right legal, but I just think it's a few people on that case that they gonna stick a fork in him, bro.
Oh yeah, people are telling beating his charges. Okay, there is no active Polymarket for odds on Lil Durk beating his charges. Here's why. Oh yeah, it doesn't legally operate in the United States, which is bizarre. I gotta get a VPN. Okay. Anyway, as long as we're talking about street shit, which is what we tend to talk about on here, what about Jeezy? This is probably one of the most creative ways that I've ever seen somebody get exposed for ratting. If a retired FBI agent made a TikTok saying that he believes that Jeezy told.
He said he believes.
Well, he believes it because he said that at one point. Why do you ask me a question then talk? He said that at one point that they had a pretty rock solid open and shut case against Jeezy for basically putting up the bounty on Gucci Mane that led to a man dying, which makes perfect sense to me. I always wondered how the fuck nobody ever got busted for that, right? Well, and this guy said that then the FBI started working with Jeezy allegedly, and then the case never came, and that his belief was that Jeezy basically told on BMF, and Blue Da Vinci basically believes this as well. Blue Da Vinci has interview clips out where he talks about how at a certain point it was like night and day that Jeezy just immediately ceased to have anything to do with BMF.
Blue Da Vinci's already spoke on this. He showed it to me himself. It's crazy you bring him up because I was thinking about, me and Blue used to be real close. We was real close.
Okay.
Till we bumped heads, and I really wish that wouldn't have happened. Out of all the people I was close with that I don't talk to no more, Blue's probably the one that I kind of like regret the most. I didn't do anything wrong. Just what he asked of me kind of was like, it rubbed me real wrong, made me feel like he was against me the whole time. I might have overthought that, but this has already been spoke on. Flacco takes it, wakes it back up. I knew he was up to something because he started texting me, asking me questions about it. I didn't realize what he was doing.
But did you see the TikTok that the guy made?
I seen the detective. And I'm going to be real, another situation where everybody knew what was going on, but it didn't matter. Selective politicking. And where Jeezy is right now, he's not really running around dropping albums and running across stages. He
just dropped the album.
He's doing other business though.
He just dropped the album with
but I don't
DJ
think
Drama, I think.
He's not really, he don't give a damn about that.
Well, he just put a project out.
Man, that dude got a liquor line and he got other things going on. You gonna catch Jeezy in a suit and tie.
So if you rat and you get away with it for 20 years, you're pretty much good.
These days, it don't matter. Amongst black people, if you Hispanic, they gonna knock your ass down.
Really?
That's a fact.
You feel like they take it more serious at this point in time?
Oh, the Hispanic culture definitely handles things way more serious than the black culture.
But also, like, we're talking about, like, black entertainers and then, like, Spanish gang members, right? Because, like, I feel like, you know...
but these dudes are gang members,
if Fat
too.
Joe ratted 20 years ago and it comes out, I feel like it's going to have a very negative impact on his career.
No, I don't think so.
But I also feel like Jeezy is so old and so past the joint stage of his career that it's like
nobody cares.
What are you gonna do? I mean, now maybe there are certain artists that wouldn't f with him, like younger artists that he maybe would want to go get a feature from. But I don't know. I feel like this is going to be forgotten in 6 months.
A lot of these, but okay, when you think about it, I hate to say it, but majority of the younger artists is telling any goddamn way. It's shit coming out on them left and right. So I don't think nobody's keeping count.
But who are the artists that have really clearly ratted that still have like thriving careers where everybody fucks with them? It's not that. It's not really like that.
If you go back in the days, you can start
right now, because supposedly we're in this renaissance of snitching.
But listen, none of these dudes have made it really to that level of it, right? Okay, we can start with Thug. Let's say Thug is the godfather of the youngsters, right? You know, Thug is gonna be Thug. He's a catalog artist, believe it or not. Thug could go do a 90-minute concert if he want.
But you said the other day that you don't think that Lil Baby and Future and all them are actually gonna fuck with him again. They're on the album, but you think that was because those were cleared before. Yeah, and there's a good chance that you're right.
Yeah, I don't think what the relationship was. They're not going to be as eager to let's go to the studio and get it in as they used to be. You know what I'm saying?
But that could also be explained away by the fact that his music clearly isn't as hot as it used to be. But all I'm saying, I fuck with Boston Richie. I feel like Boston Richie's career has moved on pretty nicely, but for sure, a lot of people kind of separated from him and stopped fucking with him. We haven't seen Future say his name since. Somebody like, Big Sad seems like his career is still moving along pretty decently. But
now Big Sad,
for sure, there's artists in LA that don't fuck with him as a result of all that.
Big Sad, I will say this. I got to give him his props because Big Sad was a little guy when he got hit with his reality. He wasn't no platinum selling artist. He wasn't running around here doing world tours. Usually a person on his level of it, where he was, when he takes a hit like that, destroys him.
Yeah. And it seems like he's
that lets me know Big Sad as an artist.
He's a good rapper, yeah.
As an artist, has some life and a whole lot of potential. He gonna deal with who deals with him in the streets. And Big Sad is probably at a point in his life where he know the streets ain't really where he want to be anyway.
But look at 6ix9ine, and I know this is an old example because it's from like 5 years ago or whatever, but
he got bigger afterwards.
Okay, he had a moment afterwards. He put out a couple records after he went to prison and everything. But look what happened when Kodak Black, and I know you're going to take credit for you made this happen, etc. But look what happened when Kodak Black did a song with him. It was like one of the most controversial things in hip hop. People said it was going to destroy Kodak's career. Kodak's career is fine, but Kodak was the only dude that would do a song with him. Even to this day, what rapper would do a song with 6ix9ine? Kodak, I guess, got $1 million. So
Bow Wow.
Okay, exactly. Shout out to Bow Wow, but I don't even think Bow Wow's doing that.
They asked.
Wait, they asked? Shut the fuck up. 6ix9ine's team asked Bow Wow to do a song?
No, Bow Wow's team asked me if 6ix9ine to do a song.
And 6ix9ine wasn't interested?
I never told him.
Well, he needs to get those Bow Wow bucks.
I'm on my way to certain shit. I got to get in front of him because
okay.
I don't think 6ix9ine really registers who Bow Wow is. I think he would have heard that wrong. But
all I'm saying, if you're a rapper and you do a song with 6ix9ine, you're guaranteed at the very least a significant increase in streams, I'm sure, because there's a lot of people that still want to hear what he's got to say. And, it's going to go viral. You're going to be in the news. You're going to be posting on all these pages, but they're not doing it.
I think now, because of all the people that have been exposed since him, I think more people will be more willing to NBA YoungBoy was gonna do a song with him.
Yeah.
He was gonna do it.
I could see YoungBoy maybe not caring enough to do it, but
NBA
also
told him on my phone, look, I'm gonna do a song with you, but you can't talk that tough shit.
This was after Kodak?
Before Kodak.
Oh.
He said you can't talk that tough shit, and it gotta be about what you was going through when you was in that cell. I want to hear about your real life pain. I don't want to hear about no gangster shit, no shoot 'em up, bang, bang shit, none of that. You bring me a song with those lyrics, then we on. And 6ix9ine delivered the song, but things started to happen with NBA YoungBoy. I'm speaking on it because it was on my three-way on my phone.
What happened?
And, you know, NBA, shit kept going on. You know what I mean?
He's had a hectic life.
I think, he went back, and then he got back out, and shit was going on. But, you know, he had his stipulations. You know, I think those people that stand on their own, too, Kodak stands on his own, too. NBA, if it's an artist that Ye stands on his own, too.
I just feel like YoungBoy is doing so well in his life right now that, you know, like at that moment that
Nobody do it now, I don't think so.
Kodak is rich, but Kodak getting $1 million, I'm sure he was very happy to hit that lick.
Yeah.
I don't think YoungBoy gives a fuck about $1 million right now because he's getting like $1 million a show right now.
$1.5 million.
That is what it is? Jesus Christ. Anyway, all I'm saying is that, and I'm forgetting the best example, which is Gunna. Gunna has done music with Offset.
Recently?
Yeah, and they're supposedly putting out a whole project together. But that does, I mean, Offset kind of stands out because he's kind of a renegade in LA or in Atlanta, where a lot of the time in the Lil Baby and all these other guys are on. Offset's clearly kind of put himself in his own space. Gunna, besides Offset, who else has worked with Gunna? It's a pretty short list. I'm just saying, I feel like Gunna's probably the best example of somebody who's been smeared as a snitch that has been able to get their career back. But there's very few examples of people who have really been able to survive the snitching thing. It destroys you far more often than it actually boosts you.
These days, if you got the team, it ain't gonna do nothing to you. I promise you. Especially if you already got a following. It ain't gonna Gunna, regardless of the fact, had music.
Yeah, great music. And that's nice.
I just seen Gunna. I told you I seen him.
No, where'd you see him?
In Boa, by himself.
In the restaurant.
By himself.
By himself.
Solo.
Eating a steak?
I went in there, I had a meet with Jared Flood.
Who's that?
The guy that runs Trump Media, Truth TV.
Okay.
And my guy Steve Marcano. And the you might know him. I might say their name wrong. The Yako twins.
The Yako twins.
Yako twins.
No.
It's two girls. They've been running around podding and doing a lot of sports stuff.
Okay,
pretty big. They Chaldeans out of Detroit area.
What's a Chaldean?
Chaldean is they're from the Middle East.
Oh.
But they call it they got big communities in Detroit and down San Diego.
Okay.
So it's early, 5 a.m., 5 p.m. There's kind of nobody there.
When you saw Gunna.
So when we go in, it's like empty, maybe like 2 people at the bar. So we're sitting out talking, probably like 10 minutes into it, I see somebody in the corner get up. You know what I mean? And I look, and I said, damn, I'm about to fuck up my business.
Why?
I'm at the table with
all these people.
Yeah,
and then you see Gunna.
I see Gunna, right?
And you just fire on him.
No.
Oh.
I seen, we locked eyes. And Gunna did really what Gunna did. He was by himself.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he was just like, let me go somewhere early where ain't nobody at, chill out. Maybe he lives close to there or something.
No security.
No security.
That's wild.
Unless they were outside. Nah, he didn't really, he was just pretty much, he was Gunna, had his swag up and shit.
Gunna can kind of like not be Gunna if he doesn't wear any jewelry.
Yeah, he was.
Kind of like fade in.
Yeah,
he a little bit maybe.
And he just walked out. We locked eyes. I looked at him. He looked at me. He wasn't no me mugging.
You said what up?
No, I didn't say nothing to him.
You made eye contact briefly and then you just kept on walking.
Yeah, I couldn't say nothing because I'm at the table with some different shit.
If you were with a homie, you're just with one of your guys.
I definitely would have said something.
Well, what would you have said?
I'd have asked him.
How you doing?
No, I'd have told him what's up. Just to see what the temperature was. I don't want to do nothing to Gunna. I've been knowing Gunna for a long time.
I guess you've like talked about him enough that maybe he would be mad at you, but he doesn't seem like he would do anything to someone that he was mad at right
I don't
now.
think. Listen, I ain't taking. I believe if somebody tried to do something to Gunna, he gonna defend himself.
Right.
But Gunna ain't the dude running around there looking for no problems like that.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
But that's why. Imagine how stressed out he was seeing you, thinking, "Hey, I've made it the past year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever it is." Not doing any interviews, not being around any rappers that don't fuck with him, not having any embarrassing moments in the club where somebody says something disrespectful to him or throws water on him or all this
that
shit.
happened once.
Did it? Okay.
Red carpet.
But for the most part, he been good. He like really has managed to avoid all the bullshit, and his career is doing good. As a result, he doesn't want to be involved in bad, messy headlines. And then he sees you.
No, for real. It was crazy. It was crazy because that day, it was like I was at Paradigm, and then we went to I had to go to Century City to the hotel, meet some dudes, and then we ended up there. And again, he was there, right? He was there before us, and we got there at 5 p.m. So I'm thinking he went there to have a drink, a bite to eat, or whatever.
Yeah.
He was in the cut where you really couldn't see him, right? And get on.
Uh-huh.
I think he heard me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And because I kind of seen somebody lean forward from the corner, I didn't pay it no mind until he got up, right? And I said, damn. In the back of his head, I know he's thinking it's about to be some bullshit. But Gunna, you don't have to worry about me. You just content.
Gunna, like I'm way less famous than Gunna, but if I'm staying in a hotel, even if I'm like above the steakhouse, I'm probably not like going to the steakhouse by myself. I'll probably order into my room.
Boa's alone, Sunset.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm just like that's kind of surprising me that he'd be moving around that slippery.
No, it was a trip, but it made sense.
Yeah.
Because where he was, the time he was there, you don't nobody. You know that shit don't fire up until about 8 o'clock.
But the thing about Boa, yeah, you're right timing wise. But Boa was like the default like TikTok hangout during COVID and shit. Like that was like where all the influencers were going. He's lucky he didn't have David Dobrik shoving a camera in his face. Hey guys, I'm with Gunna. But I mean, shit, that is kind of crazy. You guys even just being in the same room. Yeah. If I saw Gunna, I would say like, you know, honestly, I would go up to him and congratulate him. I'd say, hey, I think you got a bad deal, and I'm proud of you that you've been making great music. I know you're probably not really trying to do an interview with me, but I'll fuck with you and I respect you.
No, he survived it, and he's successful.
He wrote the playbook on how to survive that shit because I haven't seen anybody else be able to get smeared and accused / being guilty of having done something fucked up and then to really like be able to
talk back with his music.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't done any interviews. He hasn't really said nothing on social media. He talked back with his music. So at the end of the day, you can't deny him being who he is to his fans. Mm-hmm. He ain't getting nobody no explanations, nothing. Song, music. That's it. And that's why his fans love him.
Yeah, no. I'm proud of him. He's done good for himself for sure.
I just seen yesterday one of the inmates that escaped from Louisiana. He was gone about 5 months.
They got him because he got into a big fight with his girl and she ratted him out.
Whoa.
That's what they're saying anyway.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, man. This is his new mugshot.
She told on him?
I guess. This is his new mugshot. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what they were saying. Is
the chick told on the dude.
I know. He was in the middle of completing a mission that almost nobody ever pulls off. You know, we all, like, granted, I don't want to, you know, do such a thing, escape from prison or whatever, but like, you always hear about people getting caught when they're on the run for a murder or whatever, and you always just like try to think about how you would do it. Like, how would you not get caught? But everybody always gets caught. I was really counting on him, but
he was gone 5 months, so he started arguing. He had an argument with his chick, and that's how they found him.
That's what they're saying, but man, what a grimy bitch if that's true.
That's bad work.
That's disgusting.
I seen him in court. He told him, I'm not fighting extradition. Send me back to where I come from.
Okay, I didn't see that, but
they about to lock his ass down.
Yeah, no, facts. Me and you had a little bit of a conversation. Donnie, can you show the screen? Let's check this out. So this is a video of Wack and his wifey, R&B, working out. Okay, so I don't know if anything stands out to you about this video, but I commented, denying you paid for that is insane. And you responded basically saying that you want to get an independent plastic surgery expert to issue a verdict on whether your woman's booty has been in any way augmented.
That's a fact.
Now, oftentimes you've tried to get me to bet on things with you, and I would like to bet on this.
Okay.
I feel very strongly about this.
Okay, well, we're going to put it together.
Now, there's multiple stipulations.
You do know she's from Mississippi?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been in Mississippi, these backwood places?
I have not observed booties in Mississippi.
Okay, well, maybe before you issue this bet, maybe you need to go down there and observe what you see in these places.
If they have a lot of booties like that there, then I do want to go there. That is exactly what I want to do. Yes.
Now, I'm gonna give you one of the big cities. Go. She's from Greenville.
Yeah.
But go to Jackson because you can fly in there.
Okay.
And just spend a day in Jackson and walk around.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna tell you when it comes, that's where good eating come from. Now, I don't know. Now a lot of our women out here, 80% of us out here, our roots are the South.
Okay.
My family, Mississippi, Louisiana. Meridian, Mississippi, Tumasuma, all that stuff, right? But bro, I don't know why you think that these women don't have natural asses. Me personally, I've never had a woman on the side of me, or I've never had sex with a woman that has had a fake ass.
I would say that you do on a consistent basis.
Okay, well,
I mean, let's be real.
We're going to make a bet.
When a woman gets a BBL, there are scars.
There what?
There are scars.
Where would the scars be?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they exist.
You be having.
So typically at the top, like tailbone area, there'll be a little circular scar up there, and I'll have to inquire with my wife about other places.
Well, no, because I'm gonna tell you why that's incorrect. When women go get lipo, right? If they're doing the small of the back, they go in right there.
Okay.
If they're doing right here, they'll go in under here, like so.
So they take the fat out of the belly and put it in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I've never.
Really?
I can tell you about a tummy tuck. I can tell you about breast implants. I can tell you about lipo. But as far as what I do know is the people I know that have had their ass done, right? It's different fat in your stomach and sides that's in your glutes, right? So you'll take this fat and put it back there. When you go to eating, that fat is going to respond the same way as it does when it's where it's supposed to be. And this is why probably over like 5 years, you start to see these women shit spread and they can't control it.
There's a variety of different things that can happen once the BBL goes down. I've seen girls where the whole thing kind of fell out, sort of transferred down to the thighs. It ends up just looking like a big old soup. Clearly that's not happened here. That thing looking like two Spaldings side by side. All I'm saying is that if you have your expert, I want to have my expert. And now, I'm not saying that your wife needs to be naked in front of me. I'm sure that's probably a bright red line for you that you don't want to cross. So I'm willing to have, a female expert or whatever you want who can help us to make this deduction. Right. And my other thing about it too, that I don't want you, I know you love to do a little bait and switch thing where I'm saying that it's a BBL and I feel like you in your head might be like, it's not a BBL, it's something else.
No.
But he's saying it's a BBL.
What I'm saying
is
this.
It's 100% natural.
I'm saying her ass, her glutes, her buttocks.
Never been augmented in any way.
Ever.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, I know back in the day, they was putting fix it flat. Dog. I had a homegirl get 7 years because she referred somebody to go over here and they hit her with the fix it flat and all this crazy shit. Whoa. Yeah, this is real shit. So no, this is the fact. Like you got to remember that when women had that going on, it's other things that's not there.
Like what?
The natural ass has natural dimples. You get what I'm saying? There's certain shit that is just not there. This is why they do it. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I will tell you this: when she gains weight, that's where it goes. R&B was 128 pounds
Before you
when I got with her.
souped her up.
I didn't put a dub on her. You hear me?
I hate knowing
She
what this
said
is
it
doing.
today.
She told me earlier that this is kind of fucking with her confidence.
No.
She feels like everywhere she goes, people are looking at her thinking, is that real?
No, but it's a compliment to me. Because if my woman ass looks so good that you got to say it's fake,
Right.
I know what it is, right? I'm like, I had to tell her, I'm like, hey, listen, let me tell you the crazy part about it. It wasn't until I took a picture of her, because when I see things on IG that I think she'll look good in, I'll send it to her. So one day she says, you sending me this and this girl with this big old ass? And I was like, her ass is not bigger than yours. She consciously had no idea how rounded her ass had gotten. So I had to take a picture for her.
Of her own ass.
And show her. And when she saw it, she was like, oh my God.
Maybe you drugged her and got her a BBL and she doesn't know.
Last time somebody said that, it cost them $5 million. Shout out to Ray J.
You made $5 million off Ray J?
Last time somebody said something like that, it cost them $5 million.
I was just floating a theory.
I'm just saying.
I wasn't expecting to get sued for that. I don't know. It's just that's just my opinion. I guess we can get our experts together. They could go in the bathroom of the Adam and Whack pod.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
The revolution can be televised.
It will be at the very least shared on YouTube. Yes.
That's gonna be our first content on Plug Talk. Matter of fact, the homegirl can accompany the people in the room.
I mean, a lot of people still think that
Lena could go in the room.
A lot of people still think you bang Lena and I banged R&B.
Huh?
Like people
why are they thinking?
Well, we
that?
trolled. Like we
why
acted
are they
like
thinking that?
But I'm saying like people like I saw a quote tweet the other day. Like I can't believe Whack let I'm 22 fuck his wife.
Wait, babe.
I'm like, wow.
Babe,
people still
wait
going
up,
for
babe.
that.
Wait. So you really didn't go through with it?
Oh, okay.
He doesn't know that, bro. That would
you want to know how you should
you
know?
didn't go through with it?
You want to know how you know I didn't?
You didn't go through with it?
Because if I had gone, gone black, I would not have gone back. Oh, so you, so you're saying you did hit Lena? I just realized what you were trying to do there.
Nah, that's my whole girl. Lena's my whole. You know, one day you do know. I think you realize I don't play that shit. We were somewhere. Somebody tried to bring her up. I don't play that shit with Lena, but no, I tell her, I'm like, yo, this is really a compliment. Now, I will tell you, I've seen a few women in my lifetime. K. Slay's girl. I don't know if you were dibbling around. Buffy the Body.
Oh man, yeah.
That shit wasn't fake.
No, that was real. That was before they had this technology. Yeah.
We got a chick. What's the homegirl on Clubhouse?
Naughty Nerd
No,
Ninja.
Miss Dreedree.
Oh,
Miss Dreedree. Her and Drake. No, that's real.
Drake hit.
That's her ass.
If Drake hit, I'm trying to hit.
You know what I'm saying? Miss Dreedree. That shit is not fake. And pull her up on your Instagram.
No.
It is some sisters, and you're going to find a lot of them down south. Or I will say that Midwest area, Chicago, Detroitish area, St. Louis area, that's working with some. Are you the only one in your family that's built this way?
She's the only one out of the surgery. Anyway, why am I supposed to believe that people who live down south just have naturally bigger asses than people on the coast?
I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't believe that.
So
they
here
eat
it goes.
more? You're saying that they just get fatter?
No, here it goes, right?
Because that kind of makes sense.
You understand the slave trade from Europe down to the south, right? We get that. Now, a lot of our people that migrated west, right? Coming west, they had no choice but to interact with the Native Americans. So I got some Native American in me, so they start crossbreeding. When you crossbreed like that with another race, right, whose build is total opposite from yours, right? When's the last time you seen a Native American chick thick like that?
I don't know if I've ever seen a Native American chick, yeah.
So when you,
where do they hang out at?
So a lot of people, right, that's on the West, when they migrated that way, they crossbreeded like that. My grandmother's like Choctaw and shit like that. My mother's hair is straight as coming down her back, right?
Uh-huh.
When you get our sisters that's from the South that did not migrate, they're it's us. They're breeding amongst us. So the build of them, right, is what that is. You get what I'm saying?
I feel the same way about this that I feel when people try to always convince me that in Europe the food, the ingredients are healthier, so that's why people in England or in Europe are so much skinnier than Americans.
You go to McDonald's in Europe and bite into a burger, totally different.
It's the same calories.
No, I know it's a different meat. Our shit over, I don't know if our shit over
it being higher quality meat or worse quality meat wouldn't change the calories.
No, meat.
Right.
You know, have you seen the thing where they take it and they put it up for 30 days and they open it up, it's the same, nothing's happened? That's not real. It's something in there that's not real.
But I don't think that would change how fat it makes you.
If you have real meat and the cows aren't being over processed with a bunch of BS.
But by the time you get it, it's just calories in, calories out.
So you don't think it's a difference between somebody feeding this cow a bunch of bullshit versus this cow just eating grass like he's just eating organic?
I think if you give me an 8-ounce burger patty from a cow that has been eating healthy all its life and an 8-ounce burger patty from a cow that has been eaten out of the sewer, yeah, I think that once you've made the patty of meat, that it's going to have basically the same number of calories. I think that in Europe, people tend to have a healthier lifestyle. People eat less. People walk more. And in particular, I think that the people who have these experiences are people who go on vacation in Italy, and all of a sudden you're walking around all day and you're eating less and stuff. And then they get the idea into their head that this is because the food is healthier, but they've done tons of tests. And I mean, they can't really prove that there's any like difference in, you know, in the healthiness of the food that would dictate why we have an obesity crisis and they don't. Well, I think it's just our lifestyle.
Do you know a lot of our foods over here, they're not legal over there? Certain dyes and shit, a lot of
some
things
of that's true,
that they don't eat over there. And
I just don't think that like different dyes has anything to do with people being fat or not.
Are you crazy?
Why would it?
The dyes, I think it's one of them. What is it? Red number 40 some shit.
Yeah.
Hell.
But why would that make you fat?
It's outlawed over there.
Right, but why would it make you fat?
Is it outlawed? They just outlawed out here.
But you're talking about dyes that have like 0 calories.
Because you're talking about shit that we can't digest correctly.
Is that true?
Look it up. That's real.
Okay, does red food dye make you fat? No, red food dye does not directly make you fat.
However,
it is often found in ultra-processed foods that are linked to weight gain due to their high sugar, fat, and low. Yeah, I mean, if you eat a bowl of Fruit Loops every morning, yeah, that's going to help make you fat. But
that's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing: is that they remove all that food dye, which they're in the process of doing because Robert F. Kennedy is making them do so, is going to have the same caloric information on the side of the box.
That's now they don't even allow it in the country.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So,
but I'm just saying that can't be the reason why they're skinnier than us.
No, well, their portions. I believe their food is a little cleaner, and we got a bunch of bullshit in our food. If you're a kid and you're raised not knowing what the hell Fruit Loops are, you get what I'm saying? And,
I mean, even just like the number of fast food chains that I drive by on my way to work every day. Probably like a couple dozen.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. But out there, it's kind of hard to find that.
There's no fast food for vegan. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's options.
No, you got to go to the white areas.
Yeah.
You're not going to find them in, you're not going to
Louisiana fried chicken's not going to have a Boca burger.
Yeah, you got to go to, Toluca Lake, Sherman Oaks or some shit. You're not going to find them. If they were there, people would go to them.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, there are a lot of healthy food options. And also, like, they could open a Whole Foods in Compton. Do they have one? There's probably one, like, not too far, right?
Are you saying people wouldn't go to it?
Yeah.
The demographics doesn't fit.
If there was money to be made there, I'm pretty sure that all these corporations would be going there. It's just kind of, I mean, that food is super expensive.
Or maybe, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't go shop there.
I mean, as a person who, I miss the part of my life where I used to eat like really horrible food all the time because now I eat healthy stuff most of the time. But like a lot of times when I'm doing vlogs with people in the hood and stuff, in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, holy, how the are you eating that? And also, like, how are you not drinking any water? How are you drinking soda all day? Like, there's a lot of like really unbelievably bad food habits that people have that I feel like they don't realize they have.
No, that's a fact. R&B has got me. Got me used to drinking way more water. I didn't used to think about it. Even when you're drinking these juices, it's full of a lot of sugar.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We never let our kids drink
We
juice.
think, okay, I'm drinking cranberry juice, orange juice, but it's loaded with sugar.
You know, for a while, I was gaining this habit where I would drink a can of Coke once in a while. Not every day, but like when we would go out to eat, I would get one, or even just randomly, I go to 7-Eleven to get a fucking protein bar. I'm going to get a can of Coke too. And then I just saw a photo of how much sugar is in a can of Coke. And I was just like, you know what? I can never do that again. So
how long has it been since you've been off Coke?
Maybe 3 months, but it was such a once in a while
3 months
thing.
since you get a Quaalude.
But I've never done that. I don't think those exist anymore. But when I saw it,
you just said it's been 3 months since you've been off Coke, bro.
This guy. No, it's been 6 years since I did Coke.
You really was on Coke?
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's crazy.
Not like I wasn't taking like a
Coke
pill every morning.
Peer pressure or some sexual shit?
No, it feels good. You should try it.
No, I'm not trying that.
It doesn't feel good enough to justify how intermittently bad you feel in between doing it, but I mean, it feels pretty good.
Oh, so it kind of if you use it, once the high comes down, it makes you feel so bad you got to get back to it.
Pretty much, which is kind of different than a lot of drugs like Molly. If you took a pill of Molly, you probably got a good 6 to 8 hours of having a good old time in you. But you do a line of Coke, especially as you go. Like your first line of Coke, you might be going crazy for an hour. Once you get used to it, you're going to need a lot more than that.
I'm not going to need shit.
No, just don't do it. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So listen.
I'm pretty good with
what's
not
going
talking
on with
about the
Crip
rest
Mac?
No, what is going on with him? What's that mean? You know?
I keep hearing that. I heard he had a situation.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe it was a fight situation. But now I'm hearing that he possibly got a time ad. I don't know how serious it is. Because he was supposed to come home November, December or so, right?
I have been sworn to secrecy on the matter of Crip Mac and his incarceration, but
his people told me, so I don't know how secret it is.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that word on the streets, he did some crazy shit and possibly had his time lengthened a little bit.
Yeah, he going to 2026.
That far? Holy shit, that's sad.
Well,
that's next year.
He was supposed to come home the end of this year.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, I guess that's just proof that maybe the Crip Mac that we're getting is going to probably be like pretty similar to the one that went in. Your prediction that he was going to become Muslim?
No, he didn't catch enough time.
Okay.
I don't even think he probably on a medium or something. He got 33 months. I don't know where he's at.
Okay. God, I miss him.
He ain't.
I got to go see him.
Why you ain't go see him?
I don't know.
Where's he at?
You
don't know what?
No, I haven't talked to him in a while.
You don't think they'll let the cameras in?
Definitely not that.
No?
I would go see him just to see how he's doing. Give him a thrill.
Give him a what?
A thrill. Let him know his favorite white boy is still thinking about him.
Nah, he know you with him. We showed up to court.
I helped him out Christmas time, but haven't really talked to his mom or anything since then. Yeah.
What are they saying? I'm hearing the lady, without the girl OD'd. What?
That's the newest theory, but yeah, the gist of it is that he's from Queens. He's 20 right now. The girl who died, I think, was 15. But allegedly he was talking to her all the way from when she was like 11. So I guess like she would have been 11, he would have been 16 or something like that, which is pretty crazy. But by all accounts, he's just like a fucking total nerd who spent his whole life on the computer.
How did she get in the trunk of his Tesla?
Well, allegedly he chopped her up and put her in there, but the police haven't arrested him because there's no real proof that
you just hit me with some Jeffrey Dahmer shit.
I know. Well, allegedly, it's hard to believe, yeah.
Allegedly, he chopped her up.
Well, he was on tour when they found it, so there's a lot of discourse about maybe someone helped him or whatever. There's one theory is that, yeah, she overdosed and then they put her body there. I mean, for me personally, her
body was chopped up when they found it.
It was dismembered in some way. I don't know if dismembered means that she was like, chopped up and packaged in styrofoam. I don't know. Vlad said that the frunk on his Tesla, which is the front trunk, that it's not big enough, in his opinion, for a girl who was like 100 pounds to be able to fit in the frunk without being chopped up. I haven't really looked at one, so I wouldn't really know. Maybe we could, let's see it.
So they call it a frunk.
Because it's in the front, yeah.
Well, shit.
Tesla frunk. Yeah, see, look at that. That is pretty small.
Well, Volkswagens, they've always had their trunk in the front.
But I'm gonna be real, like, she's not a big girl. I feel like she'd probably, if she was 100 pounds, I feel like, you know, I mean,
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It would take a lot of dismembering.
That's a little wild.
You'd probably have to cut her in half, which I feel like is going to be really, really hard and really messy. But I mean, they raided his house and they didn't find any evidence by which to charge him. Which is like, if he was going to dismember her, where the fuck would he dismember her besides his house?
She's from Riverside County.
I think she's from Texas and then moved to, what's it called?
Marietta somewhere?
It's one of those. I forget. But somewhere over there, yeah.
How did she get to L.A. County?
Probably him.
That's a crime.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're just building their case.
It would make sense, but usually it seems like they're in a pretty big hurry to arrest somebody when it comes time for a murder. Also, if a girl dies, it's like 99% of the time it's the boyfriend. So the idea of it being someone behind him, kind of hard to believe. He's hired really good lawyers, which I guess is, if you have money, that's what you would do. He hasn't said anything. He's probably loving the fact that his music is so much more popular now. Honestly, I still haven't listened to it. I keep calling him a rapper. People are telling me that I'm tripping, that he's actually more of a singer. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, it kind of feels like we're stalled out in terms of any new information, and we're just kind of waiting. So, yeah. I mean, if he didn't do it and he's not charged, it feels like this is like the craziest promotion plan ever for an artist. Now,
we can't.
I'm not saying it was like it was thought of in advance. I'm just saying that he went from a guy with a pretty rabid fan base to someone that like literally everyone I know knows who it is.
I believe somebody's getting a bad deal. Cool kicks on her. I don't think he knew.
I don't think so either.
I think somewhere down the line, somebody who was supposed to be his buyer went over here and tried to do something to make a fast buck and placed the product in a warehouse. All he knows is he brought 1,000 pair of shoes, whatever's there. And I think somebody else ended up getting caught who probably was part of hitting these trains. We've been watching them get hit for a few years now. And I believe ultimately, he's caught in the middle of something that somebody else ultimately did, and he has no idea.
If I owned a shoe store and I knew a guy who was stealing shoes and he wanted to come through and sell me shoes at a very good rate, I mean, I would probably take part in that, and it would probably bite me in the ass at some point. But I mean, you know, you got all kinds of weird people coming trying to sell you shoes. Like the initial narrative was basically like, oh, Cool Kicks is running a counterfeiting ring. Every pair of shoes you ever bought from there is fake. That's not the case. But I'm gonna be real with you. Some of the fakes are so on point that I would like to take part. I've heard of guys in the office buying shoes. Like there's a pair of Travis Scott plain black Nikes. I've owned 2 pairs of them. I think I paid like $700 each time. One was a gift. So I paid $700 the first time. I saw that other dudes who work here ordered them from China for like $80 or like $100 or whatever, which still $100 is kind of a lot for a pair of shoes. And if it wasn't these super rare ones, no, we held them side by side. And not only could I not tell, but I feel like almost nobody could tell.
So once they're on somebody's feet and they're moving.
Yeah. So from my perspective, as a person who I am not a shoe collector, I don't give a fuck about sneaker culture. I don't give a fuck about supporting Nike's bottom line. I immediately felt like an idiot. I could have saved $600 buying these shoes, especially since like those shoes, that pair of shoes, I've worn each of those pairs probably for like 6 months straight.
He got a state case. It was the feds, right? I think that was state. I think that was just the cops.
I got to go soon, but the last thing I want to ask you about, Cash Money and No Limit Records is doing a Versus at Complex Con. The Complex Con in Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas.
You going there?
I might. He called and asked me about a month ago that I think he should do it. Told him absolutely.
For sure.
I think they're only doing 10 songs, 20 songs, so it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It's, because Cash Money's catalog is massive. So it's not like we doing an hour run.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's be real. This is like probably one of the most unfair competitions in history. Like before I was just like, oh, that's cool. Now that I've had a moment to think about it, like Master P, like
it was over with.
Damn, you already lost.
Well,
they got some bangers.
I think,
but I don't know if they got 10.
Maybe should they limit it to like
exactly
2005 back?
Because he can't play Drake songs.
But he could.
Yeah, like
if you want to put it in
where
10.
do you cut off Lil Wayne? Like, do you get to play every Wayne hit? Because that alone will be
No Limit, right? No Limit is like kind of like over with in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah. All right, let's let the AI do the work for us here. Okay. Make him say obviously a huge song. I'm Bout It. Huge song. But then almost immediately you start to get into songs that, okay, Down from My N-Words, that's a big song. Ice Cream Man, another pretty big song. It Ain't My Fault. Did I do that? Okay, good. But then even by the time you get to like 6, 7, 8, you're kind of getting into songs that
But you got Mystical. I mean.
But that's the thing is that Mystical then has to be there. Is everyone showing up?
Oh, I don't know. See, I got to ask him.
Because like if the Hot Boys are there, and if everybody from No Limit is there, but I mean, does everybody from No Limit fuck with Master P like that? Isn't Mystical locked up? Like, I mean,
Mystical's locked up.
I mean,
he got another sexual assault.
Yeah, seems like he's got a whole thing with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I'm not even gonna look up the top 10 Cash Money songs, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna devastate that. But it'll be really cool to see him in the same room. But I mean, if it's just Birdman and Master P, that's gonna be pretty funny.
I think it
just
should
play
be
it.
Birdman.
Yeah, they can do it just them.
I think it should be Birdman, the DJ, Manny, and Master P, and whoever their DJ was.
Man,
that's it.
It's so bad for No Limit. It's not even close. And I realize a lot of people have like nostalgia for No Limit, and I kind of do too. I used to buy those CDs and shit, but let's be real, it's just not even
What
close.
label you think could line up with Cash Money?
Maybe like Aftermath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 50 Cent, Eminem, Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like Rockefeller would be tough.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, Jay has mad bangers, but it's gonna kind of feel weird because it's like all one artist.
Yeah.
Not to say there's no hits from the other guys, but mostly it's gonna be Jay.
I think Aftermath be the one. That probably the one. Bro, you got Eminem, you got 50.
I thought Versus was done. Remember they like sold it for a ton of money? And then I feel like everybody started asking for mad money to do the Versus battles because they all of a sudden knew how much it was worth. And is it just me or we haven't seen one since like 2021?
We haven't seen one in a while. The last one I remember really, I know it's been more since, was Snoop Dogg, Rest in Peace, DMX. That shit was legendary.
I don't think I've ever watched one besides Gucci and Jeezy.
That one was, Gucci was so disrespectful.
I know. And really, I think I saw the best one. And the Locks or D Block versus Dipset, that was pretty sick too.
I think the Locks killed him.
They killed him in particular with their cohesion. Cam and Jim and Joel's, they all kind of looked like people that don't spend a ton of time together at this point. And then like the Locks been on tour working, performing these songs all this time. I feel like that actually was a weird moment because like my Jadakiss interview had a huge surge in views from that. And I was kind of like, so y'all needed to see a versus battle to realize that Jadakiss was a great rapper. Like
Jadakiss is one of the ones. He's top 10.
GOAT as far as I'm concerned.
Jadakiss top 10.
I gotta go, but very nice talking to you, my friend. I'll see you back here next Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Appreciate everybody who watched this. And I think I might start. So I have a Adam22 YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers. I think I'm getting rid of it, and I'm just gonna start a whole new channel.
What you mean you getting rid of it?
Well, I'm not gonna get rid of it, but I'm gonna stop posting on it because I'm pretty sure YouTube penalizes you for having a lot of subscribers when your videos aren't doing that well. Like that hurts you. And in addition to that, I've done a bunch of tests. The amount of money I make off of videos on my Adam 22 channel is less than half of what the No Jumper channel makes, like per view. So I think starting a whole new channel is probably a better idea. The YouTube algorithm is kind of set up to like help new channels.
Gotcha.
That's the whole thing. Shout out to everybody who watched this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see these videos early, all you got to do is become a member of the Whack Pack.
Whack Pack.
YouTube.com/nojumper/join, and you can figure it out.
Brick Baby. Think Brick Baby gonna be home soon.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody who watched this. Bang, bang, bang.
We out.